on. So
Yeah, so that's that you got a nice weekend planned.
Be good.
I am gonna do some pumpkin carving though.
There you go.
I wish I was really good at that. I hate those like things that you tape on and you do it. I'm not good at that, but I mean, the only time I've ever done one that wasn't like a usual one, I did one of that looked like a dog. It looked like my dog Rowdy. That was it. But when we used to have a pumpkin carving contest at Pints too, but that's when everything was fun, and then COVID killed everything, and now no one wants to do any of that stuff again. But yeah, so I'll do some pumpkin carving. Now I'm going to again. This isn't sports. We're going to have another conversation now about things like that. My kids, because apparently my kids are always obsessed with how much trouble I got when I was younger, right? Because I think they want to be deviants or see if they can one up me. But then they get, as time progresses in technology, they're really upset about how things. Be honest now. Did you ever go pumpkin smashing?
No, I never smashed pumpkins.
yes,
All right, me too.
I didn't because I had mine smashed every year as a child.
Oh no!
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
little
never-
PTSD.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I can see
I
that.
got a good story about that. My mom, it would happen all the time in my neighborhood. So my mom she was big into sewing. She took these little sewing pins and put them inside the pumpkin and had them sticking out. So when guys would come and go grab my pumpkin, they'd puncture their hands.
Heck yes!
wow.
So they wouldn't get very far,
they
but they'd
would
still
not
end
get
up
very
being
far.
smashed because the adrenaline of you picking
Yeah,
it
yeah,
up,
yeah.
you've already got it at chest high.
Yeah.
Well, the thing, and then didn't the pumpkin smashing end up happening on your front porch because they just
Yeah.
drop it?
Yeah.
But see, they got theirs.
They got theirs. So
That
yeah,
is wow. That's
that's how often it happened to us.
your mom could have been arrested for some things there. I mean,
Hey, it was the 80s. So.
gosh, there's so many things that this conversation is going to without sports here because. You know, when the cars are getting broken into, people are like, well, put razor blades underneath the door handles, and cops are like, don't do that.
Don't do
Yeah,
that.
don't do that. Like, you can get in trouble for that. And everyone's like, that doesn't seem fair. I'm like, yeah. They're like, yeah, I know it doesn't seem fair, but don't,
you can get in trouble for it.
yeah, don't do that.
We would always leave one of the pumpkins though, like just mess with them, be like, why'd they leave this one?
Because you won. That's how you know you won the family. Can you imagine you got a family of four,
Yeah.
and the kid wakes up and he's like, yes,
I'm the only one.
I'm the only one. That means I won the random pumpkin carving contest.
That's awesome.
No,
Make people
that is
wonder
so
why
good.
theirs didn't get smashed.
That is so good. Anyway, and there's kids off right now that might be listening, and you know what? And by the way, if there's anybody out there listening that's got nothing else to do outside of their, I mean, obviously there's people honking, but if someone wants to call in from any of the strike to talk sports, they can do that because it gives them something else to talk about.
Yeah, there you go.
Do it. So you can call in 391-3776. I know some people are listening, but no, thinking about the pumpkin carving, my kids always ask me like things of pumpkin smashing, like that you get in trouble. And you know, Ben's just turned 10, and he's like, "Did you ding dong ditch?" I'm like, "Oh yeah."
Now
He's
I
like-
do that.
and he's just like, he's like, "Ah, man, I can't wait to do that." And I was like, "Hey, dummy, ring doorbells."
Yeah,
Yeah.
90% of the houses.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh man, it sucks." And then he goes on, and then he'll ask me something. He's like, "Did you ever prank call?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, of course I did. Are you kidding me?"
Is your refrigerator running?
Yeah, all the time. I was like, you know, the Jerky Boys were great, blah blah blah, and he's like, yeah, and I go, it kind of went to the wayside though, and he's like, I can't wait to do it. I'm like, you idiot. And I'm like, that's caller ID. Caller ID started, and now I go, what happens when I call your phone? He says Dad, and I go, so do you think your number or your name's gonna pop up if you call one of your friends and prank him?
I mean, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but lately, even my phone, like people that, like my one buddy, he works out in Peoria. He called me from his office phone, and it actually said like possibly Nick.
Oh,
and I'm
wow.
like, whoa, how the hell did this know this?
I know text messages will do that. Like if they say their name in the text message, they'll
Well,
read
I
that
have
and be
that
like,
happen
hey, possibly Jay.
if you haven't saved the person.
Right.
Yeah.
Which you now I save it. It was a funny thing where it used to be like, not in my contacts. I was just kind of like a reply, or I knew the conversation, whatever else. And I think it was the weirdest thing. I think I knew Serge for like 2 years, and finally I was like, hey, I just put you in my contacts. And he was like, is that a big deal? I'm like, kind of. We're in a relationship now.
Yeah, it's like
And
Facebook official.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, okay. I was like, why did you even waste your time?
So are we in your contacts?
You guys
Oh,
are in
wow,
there.
okay.
You guys are, I'm not as stingy about it anymore. Now I'm pretty loosey-goosey out there. So.
Everybody gets in.
Who's this?
So going back to the carving,
Yeah.
do you dread the carving out the center of it, or do you not mind that?
I don't mind it.
Yeah. It's just the tedious work to me. It's just like, oh god, I gotta clean all this crap out of it. Like,
Yeah, it
there's
is
got to
annoying.
be a better way.
It is annoying, but there is, and they give you the kit. And it's supposed to be even better, but like you get that orange plastic thing that's carved out and it breaks and whatever else, and you're like, I knew this. I knew it was gonna happen. I shouldn't have done it, but I don't care.
So you're gonna use one of them ones out of the book, or are you gonna like try to print out one of your own?
I'll just do one of my own. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I have nothing too fancy. It would just be 2 triangle eyes and an upside down triangle nose, and then like jacked up teeth.
Oh, that's what you're gonna do?
I don't know.
That's fun.
Probably. You did not make it sound like it was fun.
Oh.
I do it, so I'll share
Go
one.
print out like a WWE one, like
I'm not going to print out any of that stuff or whatever
the
else.
Brahma Bowl.
The Brahma Bowl. That's not bad. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. Maybe I'll think of a sports logo to do. Just a good old Cubs C. Oh, there you go. No, but there was like I said, my kids they're obsessed with like how you got in trouble. Oh, someone's calling in. Right on. ESPN 1170 AM. Who we got?
Hey, can I talk to Seymour?
Seymour who?
Seymour Butts?
That's a good one. Is this Caesar Hayes?
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
Not much, man.
What's
Just trying to prank call in one place you can still prank call.
That is really still.
That's
We
true.
seriously are the one place you can still prank call. I can't believe no one has like. Why hasn't someone wasted enough of their time just going down the list of Bart Simpson phone calls to Moe's Tavern and just doing it every day and then hanging up? I have no idea. So this could be a good bit.
Bots?
Yeah, this is a good bit that somebody needs to continue to do. Just to pass it on. Yeah. So, you watching anything? Any of the CSs?
No, I kind of kept my eye on the game last night a little bit.
No.
You gotta.
More baseball,
You
easier.
gotta. No, you can't. I'll watch the World Series if the Dodgers don't play in it.
Well,
But
that was their 7th win in an elimination game. They have to do what? 2 more now, right?
yeah,
Yeah. To get to the World
and
Series.
you gotta like their chances.
Yeah, I agree.
They got through Fried. They got through Fried last night, and now they're going to come back Scherzer and Bueller back to back.
But they're on the road, though.
Yeah, but like they sprinkled their Max Muncy dust on Chris Taylor,
Yeah.
and now he's just amazing.
I think I was thinking about this morning because we obviously talked about it the last couple of days. I think I'm too hyped up on the idea that the Braves winning the World Series and the commissioner having to give it to him that if the Dodgers beat him, I think I will officially check out of the World Series unless it's a Game 7. Yeah.
Yeah, that after pulling the All-Star game out of there, it would be kind of poetic to have to hand them that trophy.
That's what I would like.
And boy, if you're Atlanta and you lose to them again, like that being up, that's got to be just
That's
demoralizing.
It's more. That's like such an Atlanta thing. Mm-hmm. It truly is.
Yeah.
Like
They did it in the 90s over
yeah,
and over and over.
it would be such an Atlanta thing that it would not even faze me.
Just
I'd
another
be like,
day.
oh yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah, that happened.
yeah.
They'll just call themselves the team of the 2020s, just like they called themselves the team of the 90s
Yeah.
with their one World Series.
Their one
ring.
World Series, yeah, but 8 straight championship series
Yeah.
appearances. Yeah, good for them.
If
good
they
run.
do it again, oh, that'd be bad. But, this year they're at least doing it without Acuna. I mean, their best player's not even there, and they're still fighting. But, yeah,
All right, buddy.
I can't watch the Dodgers. I just can't.
I know. You got anything else for us?
No, unless Amanda's there.
Amanda who?
Amanda Hugginkiss.
Yeah. This game-
Looking for Amanda Hugginkiss.
It won't get old. It won't get old. Hey, save a couple more of those and bring them in about after every commercial break if you're still around. I appreciate all of these. Just keep calling back. I'll just be like, oh, we got a follow caller. Don't know who it is. Maybe we'll get a new listener listen every time and we'll start something. So that would be great if our
Your
entire
switchboard just
it would,
starts lighting
it would be
up.
great if our entire show was just a bunch of prank calls and then I get to tell my son and then he's going to be like, can I skip school so I can call you? And yes, you can do that finally. Yeah, I don't know it's you, Ben. Yeah, sure. So
I don't know it's you, man.
yeah, thanks, Caesar Hayes. I appreciate you.
guys.
All right.
The worst would be is
Yeah.
like if he goes, "Hey, Dad, is."
Yeah. So the They're obsessed with it. Like and my kids aren't bad kids or anything like that. I think they just want to know how to toe the line and tell them everything. And I don't tell them everything, but a lot of the harmless things I got in trouble for, like getting into a food fight in 8th grade and almost getting impeached as student council president. That was a fun time for me.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Impeachment hearings.
impeachment. I'm not kidding you. There was an impeachment threat going on about a food fight in 8th grade, and I was student council president. They were like, "Well, we're thinking about impeaching him."
Was a food fight politically?
No, no, not at all. They wanted to make a message out of me, I guess, an example, and I was like, "Oh man, I don't expect this. This seems odd."
You're
and
demanding 2 scoops of gravy instead of 1. And
it was such a stage incident, and I don't even know what it was about, but like. It would have been, for those who know the Bettendorf Middle School cafeteria, it would have been on the west side of it, and there's usually like 3 tables that came down. I don't even know if it's there anymore because they renovated it. But everyone were sitting on like the south side, and then there was no one on that long table, and no one in the middle, and then they were on the north side. So there's just nobody in between. It's like a 2-front warfare, right? They're just sitting there, like the Western Front of World War One, and it just all of a sudden somebody throws their tater tot with ketchup, and it just explodes. So we all had to sit in like assigned seats for 30 days, and I got called in the office, and mother had to come in and be like, "You're going to impeach him over this," and they're like, "Yeah, we have to do this." And
so I had a prank. It was a little bit older than you. Might have been my senior year of high school, but still a fun prank. I was talking to somebody about it last night.
I love it.
My senior year, I made everybody have orange shirts, and it said MHS prison grad on the back, and everybody had an inmate number, and we sat. It was just the guys. We sat in our what was our senior photo for the yearbook.
Yeah.
And we all just sat like right directly in the middle. It took like a half an hour for them to figure out who did it, and so I'm sitting there. They threatened not to let me walk across the stage at graduation. Because of the shirts, and then basically they said I disrupted their photo, and like I wasn't even supposed to be like our senior prank or anything. I just thought it'd be funny for it to be in the photo, and I was in journalism, so I knew when the photo was gonna be.
Yeah.
And so like I had everything was planned out, and so then we went through. So we ended up not using that photo. The last day when we were going through like our walkthrough of graduation, they had us take another senior photo, and none of us got our yearbooks until like the next school year. We all had to come back and get it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you got threatened too.
So going to your senior prank. So
I love this.
I gotta break it out.
I'm going to tell you a story after this too. This is great.
Hopefully, I don't suggest anybody doing this. So I was actually a junior, and I was a bunch of friends with seniors, and they were like, we got to do something cool for a senior prank. What should we do? We had a substitute teacher in our journalism class too, and it was like, hey, why don't you guys remember the overhead projectors?
Yeah.
So we still had those, and I was like, why don't you take an overhead projector and just throw it out the window here? Like, how fun would that be? And they're like, oh, that'd be great. We should do that. And like, none of them would man up and do it. So I'm like, I'll do it. So I went over, nonchalantly walked over to the grate where the heating duct was, and went to the screen and popped it out with my elbows. Substitute teacher didn't notice. Walked over the overhead projector, wheeled it over the TV over the window nice and slow. Picked it up, tossed it out the window. Within 10 minutes of class being over and being at lunch, I was busted. So many people started talking about, oh my God, did you see what he did? He threw out the overhead projector out of the window. I got suspended for 2 days out of that deal. And it's still talked about to this day in high school. Like, I graduated, and when I came back for a baseball game, I had the guys on the baseball team go, hey, are you the guy that threw that overhead projector out the window? And I'm like, yep. He goes, they talked about that still. The teachers always warn us, like, if you guys think you're going to do something like this, just be prepared to be suspended. And here's the red outcome of what happened with Mr. Kaufman.
So was a 2-day suspension in school or out of school?
Out of school. And my dad made me go out and work with him out on the farm the whole time. It wasn't a 2-day day off. It was slave labor for 2 days.
Yeah, and it's funny because there's so much things going on, and we talk about senior pranks, and these kids are doing stuff on TikTok like daily. They don't care,
right?
And people, they're not getting suspended because I don't know why, because parents tell them like we can't do that, or even though they homeschooled them for a year and a half, and and if they do, they know they'll just be on the screens. And they don't do in-school suspension anymore because I don't know if that's bad stuff. In-school suspension is the way to go, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Put them in 4 walls with no windows and make them do work and take away screens. I mean, they'll learn their lesson. But my pumpkin incident that I tell to my kids was one that it was in October of my junior year. My buddy Moss didn't have a very good game. He was upset about something, and I wasn't playing football then, and my buddy Dyke was with me. And he's like, hey, we were out. After the game, you go hang out somewhere. Usually it's at Happy Joe's and Hardy's. Now it's at Azteca in Bettendorf on Spruce Hills. And the kids would all be there, and Moss like, get in the car. So we get in his car, and we're riding around, and he's like, we're going to go pumpkin smashing, steal pumpkins or whatever else. And that's really what we did. We took pumpkins off the front porches. We didn't smash them. We took pumpkins off of various neighborhoods. And I think I'm past the time where they can get me on anything, so I'm pretty good about this. I mean, it was 1992.
7 years.
It was 1992. And we did various neighborhoods, and we've got a large amount of pumpkins. I mean, when I say that, like I've got pumpkins in the back seat with me, and I'm barely fitting, and we've got them in the trunk. So we get to Spruce Hills, which when I say Spruce Hills, it's at Utica and Spruce Hills by the U-Haul, because you have that big hill that rolls down, right?
Yep.
Again, 1992, remember this. We take one large pumpkin and we roll it down the hill. And it's not super late, but it's not early on a Friday night. That traffic's dangerous, that a car is going to get hit. But not smart. We roll it down the hill, get back in the car, just pull over, get back in the car, take off. How... In 1992, we found the one car that saw us do it that had a Zach Morris car phone in it. I have no idea.
They had the brick.
They had that big thing that's as big as his switchboard sitting in like the foot or whatever out. And when I say it's big, I'm talking like 13 by 9. The battery, if you plugged it into the car battery and the cigarette lighter.
The lights dimmed.
Yes, everything. And they call. So then, this is the craziest thing. So then we're driving around and we get to Tanglefoot and Utica heading north, which now you guys know Utica, that's where Pints is, that's where our bar is. But then it was just 2 lanes and everything else is gravel. I think most of it was gravel anyway. 1992, again. We get pulled over by the cops. And the cop is just like, hey.
Car full of pumpkins.
What's with the pumpkins? We got a call about a pumpkin going on here. What's with the pumpkins? And we're like, huh? And like, all these pumpkins. And we're like, oh. And I don't know why. It was just kids being smartasses. And I was like, oh, we bought them.
We bought pre-carved.
And he's just like... And he's like, no, they're not carved. They're full. These are full ones. And he's like, you bought them. And like, yeah, we bought them. And he's like, let me see the receipt. And we're like, who keeps receipts? We're not going to return it. And he's like, you bought these, but and like, we're not returning them. So we just threw it away. Right, we don't know where it is. He's like, okay. And he's like, so what are you using all these pumpkins? And then I think he kept asking more and more. He's like, you have all these pumpkins. I'm like, well, we didn't buy all of them. Because he's like, there's no way you kids have this much money for all these pumpkins. So we're like, yeah. And I'm like, we didn't buy all of them. And he's like, where'd you buy them? And then I go into this sob story. I was like, well, sir, my mother is a single mother. We don't have a lot of money, and she has a pumpkin farm, pumpkin patch, and so I have to transfer them because we're going to sell them for ends meet. And he's like, sure you do. And I'm like, yeah, and we're just, whatever. And he's like, you want to pop the trunk for me? And my buddy Moss is like, don't you need a warrant for that?
Oh, wow.
Keep in mind we're 16 because we think we're cool. And he's like, I'll get you a goddamn warrant right now if you just pop the trunk. He's like, fine. He reaches over and he pops it. You have to open up the glove box. How old the car is. Again, 1992. Hits the thing, pops it, and whoo, it's like opening up the Pulp Fiction the box. There's pumpkins just falling out of there. And he's like, there's more pumpkins here. Like, yeah. He's like, let me get this straight. You probably had pumpkin patch your mom and you bought this too. Like, you nailed it.
You got it.
Listen to our
paid
story.
attention.
He's like, that's it. I can't handle this. We're calling all your parents. Well, my parents were divorced, and I know the right one to call. I call my father. There's Dykema's parents, there's Mossbrucker's parents, and Mossbrucker's dad still talks about the story this day. I'm pretty sure he probably shared it this week. And my dad comes, and the cop's talking to him, whatever else, and he's talking individually to him, and finally he comes up there, and he's like, come here. And I'm like, all right. And I go up there, and he walks me up to my father, and he's like, he goes, tell your father the same story you told me about these pumpkins. And I said, huh? And he goes, I want you to tell your father the same story you told me about where you got these pumpkins and everything else. And I look at this, I look at this officer, and I look at my dad, and I look at this officer, and I go, what pumpkins?
Wow.
And the officer's eyes get super big, and you can see the blood rush in his head. And he goes, tell him the story you told me of pumpkins. And I go, I have no idea what pumpkins you're talking about, sir. And my dad lost it. God damn it, Jay, this isn't effing funny. Just goes on. And I was like, I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh, my
and
God.
the officer has now lost his mind. And he's just like, that's it.
And all the other parents are watching this.
Yes, and the officer's like, that is it. Listen to me. Here's how this is going down. We're going to take all these pumpkins, and you're going to go down to that church down there, and we're going to do this, and you're going to donate them or whatever else. We're just going to leave them there and kind of I'll follow up. But if any of these pumpkins gets reported stolen, any of them, I'm coming after you guys. And I'm like, okay, who is doing this? Who's going to be like, oh, and by the way, it weighed 8.3 pounds.
Yeah.
And this is what
It was orange.
Yeah,
It was orange.
Yeah. So we do that, and the worst part about it is we have to drive up north, and this church is now on the corner. It is on the corner of Utica and Crow Creek, so people will know what I'm talking about. And we're like, why this church? And the thing I did not know about this is he's like, I had the same thing happen last weekend, and we just dropped him off there, so they're going to sell him. So he had the same type of thing situation. I didn't realize it, and this guy's been my best friend since, like, I was 12, Dykema. And Dykema's like, later on, like, after the whole thing settles down, he's like, yeah, I was the one, I got busted for that, too. I was the one that did that last weekend. So I'm like, it never followed up. And later on, like, my dad, now he thinks it's funny then. He was so irate or whatever else, but he still, when we used to talk about the story, usually about this time of year, he would always just be like, I could not believe that you were just, he goes, it's funny now, but how you just stared at him and just were like, what pumpkins or whatever else.
Them are just some heavy brass.
I don't know.
Man,
it's just sometimes
balls you got there, bud.
16-year-olds are so dumb, and they don't care sometimes.
Yeah, even at 16, though, I don't know if I got that kind of brass tacks to be like right straight to the officer, like, what are you talking about, man?
Oh, yeah. It was.
I got to give you credit for that, man. I would have been.
He
I
wanted
probably
to
would have
kill.
folded.
He wanted to kill me. The officer wanted to kill me. If he's listening now, I apologize. I really do for giving you
No,
hell.
he's in the wrong.
yeah.
He's some kids trying to have some fun.
I think what's in the wrong is the guy that had that cell phone at that 1992 that wanted to tattle on us or whatever else. But yeah, it's weird because now if they do any type of pranks, they can do it on a anonymous account. But I mean, they can figure this stuff out eventually with IP addresses and everything else. But yeah, as senior pranks go, I mean, we did those also. But yeah, my kids really are interested at somehow getting in trouble without getting in trouble. They just want to know what I did. And we just went 26 minutes without talking about any sports except for E's or A's. And
I think people
LCS,
want us to talk about sports. I don't know. It's not enough fun today.
It is. I mean, there is
fun.
some fun things to talk about because, hey, what's better than a list?
Oh, nothing really.
Yeah. I like
Well,
lists.
the NBA celebrating 75 years did a list of 75 players, the greatest 75 of all time.
Tons of people left off.
That's what we got to talk about a little bit
Can't
because
wait.
there's nothing better. If we don't really get too excited about the NBA, which I don't think Adam and I are,
Nope.
Adrian,
I am.
you get some things there.
I'm pretty excited.
But everybody loves a list because we all grew up with players, we know of players, everything else, and we get to talk about who's off. So we'll do that and more when we come back from Don't Hassle, so we're local here on ESPN 1170 AM. Be nice to police officers, kids.
This is Len Casper, the voice of the Chicago White Sox. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 1170.
Car old? Need it sold? Get rid of that old car and do a good deed at the same time. Plus, clean up your yard before the snow comes. It's the Arrowhead Ranch Annual Auto Auction. That's right, it's back. Donate your car, truck, or SUV, and if you live within 40 miles of Coal Valley, they will even pick it up, even if it doesn't run. All donations are tax deductible. Call 309-799-7044 or check them out online at arrowheadyouth.org. Car old? Need it sold? Arrowhead Ranch Annual Auto Auction in Coal Valley.
It takes two vaccines to help protect you this season, the flu and COVID-19. And now you can get both shots at the same visit. Learn more at cdc.gov/vaccines. So, what are you sipping?
Whether it's our freshly ground coffee to wake you up or an icy Polar Pop cup or Froster to keep you going, our new Sip and Save drink subscription at Circle K will keep you refreshed every day. Join Circle K's Sip and Save and grab any size drink every day for just $5.99 a month. Yeah! Start sipping and saving today. Just sign up with your mobile number when you check out at Circle K. Limited time offer at participating locations.
So as you guys know, Mark's gone.
The float artist at Fred's Floral just took off, days before the parade. They need a replacement before business passes them by.
Oh, and who am I going to get to finish the float?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Fall into savings on your next project with 11% off at Menards. Spruce up your home with appliances from top brands including Whirlpool, Amana, KitchenAid, Maytag, and Criterion. Check out the largest in-stock selection of appliances to take home today at the lowest prices and get 11% off now at Menards. Good through October 23rd, savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm MJ Acosta-Ruiz with the NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Case Keenum started in for Baker Mayfield and made the most of his first start in 2 years with a major assist from the third-string back D'Ernest Johnson, who rushed for a career-high 146 yards and a touchdown as the beat-up Browns beat the Broncos 17-14 on Thursday night. Johnson getting the nod with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt both nursing calf injuries. As for who will be under center moving forward, Baker Mayfield revealing that he suffered a fracture in his left shoulder in addition to the torn labrum, and that the fracture is, quote, preventing his rotator cuff from firing. Baker adding that he hopes the fracture will heal in time for the Browns' next contest against the Steelers on Halloween. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Get stylish, durable flooring for your home that will last a lifetime and get it installed with help from Lowe's. Get Stainmaster Pet Protect carpet starting at just $199 per square foot and Pergo Wet Protect laminate starting at $249 per square foot, both with limited lifetime warranties. Order now only at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. Install available in-store only and through independent contractors. See Lowe's.com for details and licensing. U.S. only. See Lowe's.com product detail page for more warranty information.
Okay, my shipments have to get to customers on time and looking good.
It's possible with Staples Connect. Staples Connect has small business shipping covered with premium shipping supplies and UPS shipping services. And now, buy two, get one free on select shipping supplies like bubble roll and premium shipping boxes. Plus, get 20% off UPS Express shipping services. Explore what's new at your local Staples store or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Ends 10/30. Visit staplesconnect.com/shipping for details.
Join the conversation. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter to never miss a thing. From the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Hi, this is Derek.
And this is Skip. We are the twins from our bar Davenport.
And you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
On ESPN 1170 AM.
Hey, everybody. We're back here, ESPN 1170 AM. Sharing our greatest senior prank stories, Halloween tricks instead of treats, all that stuff. And that segment brought to you by Our Bar. Just kidding. But you heard about the twins. Our Bar. Join Our Bar's text club to get exclusive offers and updates sent straight to your phone. Text Our Bar to 1-833-302-2216. That's 1-833-302-2216. Text Our Bar. Or visit textourbar.com to sign up for event announcements, new recipes and contests and giveaway, much more. Again, that's their text club to get exclusive offers and updates sent straight to your phone. And remember, you're getting by the time this is, this month's over, you're getting in November. It's time you're going to have more holiday parties. You can go into Our Bar, you can get a nice bottle of wine, and you can do that for your Christmas gift exchange or everything else. I can't believe we're gonna someday, now that we have like dumb segments like this, we're gonna have like the best white elephant Christmas gifts to give in a month or two. So I've got mine all lined up. It's going to be awesome. But so last night we had the football game going on. Browns. What was the best thing I saw on Facebook? I'll call it out. Dave Ellis sent to Brandon DeTrent, our second team beat our JV beat your varsity, and I was like, that's really good. Yeah, the Cleveland Browns. They won last night. Their second string quarterback Case Keenum, and their running back.
Waiver wire pickup right there.
The running back.
Yeah.
Johnson?
Yeah, Ernest Johnson.
Yeah.
Wait, what was he doing like 6 weeks ago? Was he a fisherman? Is that what it was?
I think it was.
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
Yeah, hold on. I have it here, whatever else. Yeah, I just got to get you. I think there's something really strange about that. Yeah, like he, it's like a fun fact thing or whatever else.
Yeah, and Adrian, you said you won some money on that, huh?
Not too much money. Just took a live bet in the middle of it.
I said 3 years ago he was a fisherman in
3
Key West.
years ago.
Which sounds like a pretty good gig, I'm not going to lie. I like Key West. But he rushed for 146 yards and a TD in his first start. So, yeah, the Browns beat the Broncos for 17-14. So they were without Chubb and Kareem Hunt and Baker Mayfield. And he averaged, Johnson averaged 6.6 yards per carry. And I don't know where the Broncos were at. I mean, Vic Fangio's supposed to be a defensive guy, and his seat might be getting a little warm there out in Denver. Vic Fangio. And
no, absolutely. Well, I just think that they kind of shot themselves in the foot by not drafting a quarterback. And they had the number 9 overall pick. Would Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock the answer? Is that what we're saying? I mean, it all started right there. In my opinion,
I don't know. I would like to. There might be some more people out there like who are, what do they call, Herd Nation or whatever else Broncos that might know.
The upside of picking your quarterback and getting it right is just so beyond the downside.
Where were they on the draft?
9, I believe it was.
9?
I'm almost positive it was.
Do you think it's a thing of because Elway stepped down from general manager, right?
Very well could have been. I think he's not the general manager anymore, yeah.
And I think maybe the first guy through the gate, maybe he just didn't want to put everything into a quarterback right away because if it doesn't work out 3 years, your
still
job's
got
done
2
3 years.
potential guys right there sitting with Justin Fields and Mac Jones. And look what they're doing now.
I don't know. Teddy Two. Maybe they just thought Teddy Two Gloves is the way to go.
Well, you thought wrong.
Well, I mean, if you're a new guy coming in, he's pretty consistent. I mean, you really can't go wrong with him. I mean, he's Teddy Two Gloves.
I mean, he's losing football games though.
Not very often.
Your defense is sitting there, he's not winning you football games. Your defense is winning your football games.
But he's not losing you games. I mean, he's pretty consistent. I mean, he doesn't turn the ball over a lot.
1 or 2 interceptions last night.
Listen, Denver should have won that game.
Denver 100% has got to win that game.
That's
Did something happen to Von Miller? Did I see that right?
Oh, no.
I didn't catch most of that game.
Yeah, it's just we were talking off the air beforehand. We'll stick to NFL real quick. So Survivor Pool. I'm in on the Cardinals this week. I like where that one's at.
Great time to use them, probably.
I am interested in how many people took the Patriots against the Jets. And I know that doesn't sound like much, and people be like, oh, yeah, it's the Jets, and Belichick doesn't lose to the Jets, blah, blah, blah. He does, and he has. I
know the last time they played, I know Wilson threw 4 interceptions, I believe.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, you're going to make changes. You're going to play a better game. It's like we said earlier, it's hard to beat a team in the NFL twice.
That game was in New York. Yes, he did throw 4 interceptions. That was at the time the only win through week 4. That was the only win a rookie quarterback would have. That was Mac versus Zach.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't believe that's the first time I said that. Anyway, how did we not do that? Yeah. Anyway, so they're 7-point favorites. And there's a lot of people in this pool that are on the Patriots. And now that I've said it out loud, they'll probably wins, but I'm not taking the Patriots.
I think it's a good sign for you, Jay.
Yeah, I think so. It's not in my wheelhouse of what I'm looking to do or anything like that. But yeah. And then we did mention briefly about the NLCS, and there's a game 6 now. The Dodgers beat the Braves. They beat them 11-2. And like Izere said when he called in, or wasn't Amanda Hugginkiss, who was it that called in? Anyway. Chris Taylor was all over the place there. In the second inning, he hit a 2-run home run. In the third inning, he hit an RBI single, and then he hit another 2-run home run in the 5th, and then a solo home run in the 7th. So
He's trying to steal that MVP award from Rosario.
he had another double last night.
Yeah.
He's not going away at all. Okay. So the NBA is on its 75th season, and it put together a list. Now it would make sense
Yeah, why
that
not?
there's 75,
Who doesn't like lists?
but there's 76 because there was a tie. I don't know how. but
Why would they do that?
because they put the list together and they used people's votes, and then when they weighed it out, there was a tie. So that's how that worked out.
Who was the tie between?
It's a great question.
I'm looking right here and I don't see anything.
Maybe I might know here in a second.
There was a lot of snubs on this list, and people not happy that this list came out and they saw names on it that they believed they were better. And I think Tristan Thompson was one of the ones that spoke up right away.
The list is selected by a panel of current and former players, coaches, executives, and media members. And 76 because of a tie. And the list that I have in front of me is all alphabetical.
Yeah, they didn't even rank them.
They didn't rank them.
What are they doing?
I want to see a ranking. How is there a tie and you're not giving it? Listen, Congress. If you can petition for 650,000 emails from NFL, you better petition for this list because I want to know who they think is number one.
Yep.
End it of all end debates. End the debate right now. End it. If the debate that's been going on for years that we talk about, it's happy hour talk, everything else, Jordan or LeBron, end it. I want Congress to step in on this. I don't care about 650,000 emails. I want you to end this debate.
Jordan's not even 2.
Jordan's not even 2? What is he? 1?
3.
He is?
Yeah.
Who's 1?
LeBron.
Who's 2?
Kobe.
This is awesome.
Yeah. Blow the internet up.
Yeah, this is great. And right now, somewhere Gadian's getting all upset because he thinks that Kobe should have been 1 and he can't believe you. It's all debatable, but I want to know.
I'm going to get off the Facebook now.
Yeah, I want to know who is number 1. I don't appreciate this. I want to know what the tie was and why there wasn't criteria to break the tie and who number 1 is. This is ridiculous. Anyway, you got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You got Ray Allen, also known as Jesus Shuttlesworth. Should have won an Oscar. You got Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I just got his jersey. Pretty excited about it.
Sweet. Carmelo Anthony, Nate Archibald, Paul Arizin, Charles Barkley, Rick Barry, Elgin Baylor, Dave Bing, Larry Bird, Kobe Bryant, Wilt Chamberlain, Bob Cousy, Dave Cowens, Billy Cunningham, Steph Curry. That's just your A through C's. Anthony Davis, Dave. This is where the NBA dumbos are going to come in and be like, "You're killing his last name." DeBouchier, Clyde Drexler.
That's pretty good, I think.
Thanks. Tim Duncan, Kevin Durant, Dr. J, Patrick Ewing, Walt Frazier, Kevin Garnett, George Gervin, Hal Greer, James Harden, John Havlicek, Elvin Hayes, Allen Iverson. It's just your D through your eyes. LeBron James, Magic Johnson, Sam Jones, Michael Jordan, Jason Kidd, Kawhi Leonard, Damian Lillard, Jerry Lucas, Karl Malone, Moses Malone, Pete Maravich, Bob McAdoo, Kevin McHale, George Mikan, Reggie Miller, Earl Monroe. Chase through the ends.
It surprises me that they gave him a nod on that.
He had 9 years in the league, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you just don't hear about him a lot anymore when lists come out.
I think, it's one of those things. I think it is only because of the 9 years. But I think just maybe it's just the aura that comes with him.
Yeah, it has to be.
And everyone just being like, well, he was great, right? And everyone's like, yeah, he was great. And no one really remembers too much of him, what he did or his stats or anything.
It says it's 5-time All-Star, 4-time NBA.
Mm-hmm.
And then scoring champion 76-77.
Okay. Well,
so I mean, it's not great by any means, but
we're kind of leaving someone off there that's in the M's, also in Dikembe Mutombo. So
yeah,
that's
a good point. Yes,
I
didn't notice that.
Well,
yeah.
okay, that's what we want to talk about, like where this list is, who they are, and then who's left off. In the end, so they are Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki, there's Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaquille O'Neal, Robert Parrish, Chris Paul, Gary Payton, Bob Pettit, Paul Pierce, Scottie Pippen, Willis Reed, Oscar Robertson, David Robinson, Dennis Rodman, Bill Russell. Then the S to the W's. Dolph Schayes, Bill Sharman, John Stockton, Isaiah Thomas, Nate Thurman, Wes Unsled, Dwayne Wade, Bill Walton, Russell Westbrook, Lenny Wilkins, Dominique Wilkins, and James Worthy. So, yeah, that's your list of 76. Who was left off on that? We said.
Oh, I got some names. Klay Thompson,
Klay
Dwight
Thompson's
Howard,
one. Dwight Howard's a big one.
Yeah, there's a big
Grant
one.
Hill,
Grant.
Tracy McGrady,
Penny Hardaway.
All right, let's
Vince
slow
Carter.
This. Let's slow.
Ooh, Vince Carter's a
Vince
good one.
Carter should have been on that list.
I don't understand that one.
Yep.
He had what, like 19 years in the league?
Yeah.
I think Tristan Thompson, Vince Carter, and Tracy McGrady and Dwight Howard all have valid arguments where they should have been on that list somewhere.
I'll give you that.
Okay.
I don't even understand.
Hold on. Whoa. Let's slow this down, though.
Mutombo, like you said.
Does Dwight Howard get left off because tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know if he ever got portrayed in a very positive light by the media. He flipped a couple too many teams.
I feel that.
Some maybe former players and current players are like, I'm not voting for him.
Gary Payton played everywhere, didn't he?
Peyton played at Seattle and Lakers.
Not the Heat. Did he play for the Heat?
Yeah, I thought he played for the Heat.
LeBron James has been 3 different spots. Shaquille O'Neal's been everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Those are all fair. I'm just saying, like, when he went to those places, how was he portrayed by the media?
I get you there.
And I'm saying, how was he as a teammate?
So
when
that's
he
what
went
you
to
think
those
kept
places?
him off in general, not his stat line?
I don't know. I mean,
he had some great years. And still very valuable.
Did he win an MVP? Did he ever win a championship? He just won a championship with the Lakers.
Yeah. No, did he win with the Lakers? I thought he won with. Did he lose to the Lakers when he was with the Magic?
Yes.
When he beat the Heat, when they went.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he. Yeah.
Or they lose to the Spurs or something like that, or who was it?
Yeah, they lost to the Spurs.
I think he. I don't know. Maybe titling yourself Superman. How does Superman not make the list of 76?
No.
I'm going to continue to call it the list of 76 instead of the 75th anniversary team.
Klay Thompson, a multi-ring guy.
Yeah.
All right, I do have some serious problems with this list. Anthony Davis is on this list already, and Dwight Howard's not on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going through this list, and I agree 100%.
No, Anthony Davis has had some dominant years as well, but if you're going to give it to Anthony Davis, you better put Klay Thompson and Dwight Howard on there.
Yeah. Wow. You gotta love lists. Yeah. I'm trying to think who else. I think Dikembe probably should have been on there as well, but that's also like showing my age when, you know, the names that you have that you're thinking like, oh, that should have been there. But you grew up more when you were following the NBA more, like I was. Which and you would think being where we're at now, talking about sports, I would do more following the NBA, but I don't know why. Oh, great. We got a phone call. I can't wait. ESPN 1170 AM.
This is IP Freely.
IP Freely. IP Freely. Okay.
Yes. I am old enough to remember the 50-year anniversary team, and I pulled it up to look at it.
Yes, thank you.
All right. The logo is not on your 76. Jerry West.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. Look at this photo here. And the logo's on it, and the logo and seriously, if you
that's crazy.
Jared C. Tilton, not a fake name or a prank name, from Getty Images, the one that on the list that I have in front of me, they use this, and it's a basketball, all diamonds all over it. It's got the logo just like you said, and it's got a 75 inside the diamond logo for the 75th anniversary. So the logo is not on the list of 76. Sorry, Israel, to interrupt you. Go on.
Okay, I kind of missed your beginning. I was trying to think. I pulled the list up as you were going through. There was another guy that they took off. George Mikan.
Yep. No, he's on this list.
From the Lakers.
He's on this list.
Oh, he is?
Yes, he is.
I missed him.
It's okay.
Okay. I missed the beginning.
It's
You'd
okay.
have to almost go back through, but yeah. But yeah, I was just like, how is Jerry West not on there?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Jerry West is on that list.
Where? Did I
In
say it?
between Bill Walton and Russell Westbrook.
It's not on my list.
It's on mine on ESPN.
Yeah. Oh, okay, good. Whew.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, if you pull up the 50, I was like, I wonder how many guys from the 50 made on the 75, because just in 25 years, if there's 25 players good enough to knock some of these guys off.
Somebody look this up for me, because Mikey says this on the Harrington Spud Facebook comment thread. Bill Riddle is number 1. Now, is he doing the prank thing, and I just said that I didn't know, or is that somebody?
It's got to be a prank thing.
Yeah,
yeah, they didn't rank the 50 either. They just threw a list together, and I'm on NBA.com, and it's in alphabetical order, same kind of way you went through.
Yeah, but why when they? Oh man, because why not? Why not? Like, hey, here's the deal. Seriously. Why not? There is more talk that you're going to have to fill airtime if NBA ranks it than it is to be like, well, let's look at this list and then rank it. I mean, yeah, we can goof around and do it, and we probably will because that's what we do, but you're going to have more shows. I mean, you would have started off, and instead of all this other NBA nonsense about being vaccinated or not, or is Simmons going to show up to the complex, and then he's there, but he's not practicing, Ben Simmons that is, and then they're like, oh, and everyone says big deal, and the next day it's like, oh, he had like back problems or whatever else. That you would start your day off. It would probably be the number one thing over the Thursday Night Football if you would have ranked this.
Absolutely, it would give
and the NBA, and everyone would be talking about the NBA and not in a negative way whatsoever. So why not?
I feel like they just didn't want to have the discussion maybe afterwards. Like they didn't want to reap them telling everybody that they were wrong. But I mean, they do it all the time.
I guess the only way that answers is that out of this panel of current and former players, coaches, executives, and media members, they didn't have them rank it. They just said, give us a list of 75.
That has to be the only reason.
And if you made it by so many, then they just put you on there, and they're like, oh, by the way, someone made it this way at this amount of times also, so now we have 76. That's dumb.
We're still talking about it.
And we will still talk about it. We will. Anyway. IP Freely, anything else?
No, if you guys should make your own top 10 and score it, and then you can decide who's number 1.
Well, maybe we might do it. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a way. I do want to break this down, but we're going to do that when we take the break, and then we'll talk about how we're going to do this or whatever else. And then
do like an AP vote. Whoever number 1 gets 100 points, and number 2 is 90 points, or 10 points, 9 points, and just work your way down, and you guys can add them up.
Yeah, the thing is, my list will be so bad it'll be thrown out automatically. It's like, well, we're not listing that list. We're not even scoring that one. I'd be like, I mean, come on, Jesus Shuttlesworth.
When Adrian has Michael Jordan at 8, then he doesn't get penalized so much.
There you go. You got to bring the dumb one to weigh out the good. So.
Sorry, I hurt your dream love's feelings.
That's great. All right. Well, we're going to take a break, and we're going to figure this out. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for the phone call. All right. Yeah, we do have to take a break, though, here and before the second hour. We'll be right back. ESPN 1170 AM. Don't hassle us. We're local.
Hi, this is Derek.
And this is Skip. We are the twins from Marbar, Davenport.
And you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
On ESPN 1170 AM.
This is Rachel Alger with St. Ambrose University, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
When you open an essential business checking account at First Midwest Bank, you'll earn a $500 bonus. But that's not all. You'll also have your own local banker who knows your business. A $500 bonus plus a local bank to help you succeed. That's banking with momentum. Visit a First Midwest branch to open an essential business checking account by November 30th, 2021. $100 minimum deposit to open. Available to businesses located in Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, and Wisconsin. Must complete all bonus requirements to be eligible. Details available at firstmidwest.com/smallbiz, member FDIC.
Wake up to Wendy's and get a bacon or sausage, egg, and Swiss breakfast croissant for just $1.99. Made with fresh cracked eggs and served on a hot buttery croissant that's fluffy enough to sleep on. It's time to wakey. Hit the Wendy's drive-thru and get your bacon or sausage, egg, and Swiss breakfast croissant for just $1.99. That's a better breakfast for just $1.99. Only at Wendy's. We got you.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Third-party delivery prices may vary. Not valid in the combo.
Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Max Kellerman.
Sam Darnold, to me, may be a great 4A quarterback.
I don't know that he'll be a great NFL quarterback. I thought when he got drafted, he had a chance to be a good one, but what I've seen is not that. I know he checks a lot of boxes, but does he check them at a high enough level? I've seen Zach Wilson do things where you go, that's a little differently talented.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Mornings on the Quad Cities Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
So, what are you sipping? Whether it's our freshly ground coffee to wake you up, or an icy Polar Pop cup or Froster to keep you going, our new Sip and Save drink subscription at Circle K will keep you refreshed every day. Join Circle K's Sip and Save and grab any size drink every day for just $5.99 a month. Yeah! Start sipping and saving today. Just sign up with your mobile number when you check out at Circle K. Limited time offer at participating locations.
Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Max Kellerman.
Eli Manning, what are you expecting from the Giants quarterback this year?
I think he will be able to take that step forward just because the fact that it is his second year. I've seen firsthand just how hard Daniel works. I know how important it is to him for him to be a successful player. I know he knows this year is a big year for him, but that's not going to put pressure on him. It's going to make him excel and do better.
Keyshawn, Jay Will, and Max. Mornings on the Quad Cities Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
Get that satisfying crunch. Now with 20% more honey. Try a delicious Nature Valley Oats and Honey Crunchy Bar with more of the honey you love.
Canty and Golick Jr.
I, for one, am shocked by the headlines coming out of Philadelphia. Ben Simmons now openly saying he doesn't want to be part of the team before reporting to training camp. I mean, can they just get this over with already? Like, Ben Simmons is going to have this cycle go on long enough for him to be able to claim that you can't fire me, I quit.
Canty and Golick Jr., 2 till 6 on the Quad Cities Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
It takes 2 vaccines to help protect you this season, the flu and COVID-19. And now you can get both shots at the same visit. Learn more at cdc.gov/vaccines.
Follow us on Facebook at ESPN 1170 AM. We are the Quad Cities Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
You're back there, Jay.
Yeah, we're back here, ESPN 1170 AM.
Were we
I guess
on
we were
the
the
entire time?
We were on the entire time.
We were pretty quiet, though, this
we were
time.
Quiet,
We didn't say a word.
Too
I don't
busy
think,
looking
to
at
each
stuff.
other.
Yeah, you said Adam just said we're back, Jay. Yeah, we were on the entire time. We didn't say anything. That's a boy, oh boy, that's a first.
I don't know if we should do that again.
I tell you what, that is
practice run. Didn't go too well.
First time that a hot mic did not ever come back to get us in any way.
Look at us being good on a Friday.
Oh my gosh, too busy to do it, I guess, or whatever else. I was trying to look up the Easer A's on the Harrington Pub Facebook comment thread. We're talking about the NBA list of 76. It's actually supposed to be a list of 75 for the 75th anniversary. The top 75 players of NBA of all time. And he did say that all 50 that were on the 50-year anniversary were on the 75 list. ESPN put something together this morning. Like, it asked some of their people, some questions about it. One of the questions they asked, which player were you most surprised to see included on the 75th anniversary team? Analyst Kirk Goldsberry said Dominique Wilkins.
How can you be surprised about that?
Apparently, he was left off the top 50 list, which came at the end of his career. So, I think it's more that he was surprised that he wasn't on the original list.
Oh, okay. That makes
But the
more
list
sense.
got extended, because after that, 50 years, 25 years, you'd think there's 25 players in between that would do it. So, Jorge Sedana said that that he was surprised to see Damian Lillard on there. But that's it. That's what he had on there. Let's see. Ramona Shelburne said that, also agreed with Wilkins and said that Bob McAdoo were snubbed on the 50th. Mark Spears says that Bill Walton was surprised to see there because there was other players out there whose careers were affected by injury, like Grant Hill, Derrick Rose, Ralph Sampson, Yao Ming. Those are all names right there. Brian Windhorst agreed with my Anthony Davis. He just said that his resume just isn't complete yet.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying about Anthony Davis and Damian Lillard. Is like kind of what separates them from like Klay Thompson, Paul George, Jokic.
Jorge Sedano, we're talking about who the snub was that we're talking about. He went on to say, agreed with Dwight Howard, Tracy McGrady, the Manu Ginobili was the one that. A name that we should...
Yeah.
Tony Parker, I didn't think about.
Oh,
yeah.
It's because he's French.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, that's all.
What about Paul Gasol?
He's got some titles.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a name. I mean, yeah. Kyrie Irving, that resume's not there yet. Yeah, the Paul Gasol is a good one, though.
Here's a little stat on Dwight. 3 different defensive players of the year, 8 all-NBA teams, 8 all-star appearances.
For Dwight?
Yeah, for Dwight Howard.
Okay.
Just a little resume.
Yeah, it has to be his locker room status.
Alonzo Mourning, not on there?
That's
Ben Wallace?
Yeah.
He won a title.
He won a title. He's in the Hall of Fame.
A lot of fun. A lot of fun to watch on the TV too.
Yeah, I'm not saying that just because you're in the Hall of Fame. I don't think it's very. I don't think it's really a big deal of that because you're in the Hall of Fame, you have to be in there. Because in the Basketball Hall of Fame, tons of people get in. I think the trophy's in the Hall of Fame, the Larry O'Brien Trophy, just because. Is James Harden resume? It's not complete yet.
Was Durant in there?
No, I don't think he was. No, he was not.
He had to have been, right?
Or we'd
be talking about him, right?
No, he's on there.
He's got to be on there.
It was Duncan Durant, Dr. J.
Yep.
Yeah, we would definitely be talking about that. Guys who would be next. I mean, there's certain people in here that, I mean, obviously, Luka will be in the
Jokic,
100. Yeah.
Embiid, Paul George.
The thing is that, I would just, if there's 2 congressmen that are sitting there trying to get all 650,000 emails, then I think we need to have a list of how this was gotten. Does anyone find out the criteria, how this was voted or anything like that? Like, or is it just because, I mean, are we speculating like how, that's what I meant to look up before I got that. Is
how old is the average age of these guys voting, too? I want to know.
In media?
Yeah.
The average age is older than all of us. I can tell you that much. All right.
The 75th anniversary team was selected by Blue Ribbon panel of media, current and former players, coaches, general managers, and team executives. As a result of a tie in voting, the 75th anniversary teams include 76 players.
Adrian?
Yes.
I know I'm putting you on the spot here.
Here we go.
Here we go what?
Oh, so here we go.
You have 75 names here.
Yeah.
Adam, same thing, and I'll try my best to not mess this up.
Uh-huh.
Make your starting 5.
Oh, man.
We're gonna sit here and talk on air about it.
Yes, we're gonna talk on air because we just went 5 minutes on dead with a hot mic and didn't say a word to each other. And somehow we did not get, like Mikey said, we didn't get any FCC violations. I'm very proud of us. So now we're gonna have a talk through like what we would do if it was a break, a thing or whatever else, and we were talking through it. But yes, I think everybody else out there, they heard the 75, they know the list. If they're sports fans, they know what's going on. Do your starting 5.
Let's just start right away with LeBron, Kobe, and Jordan.
Yeah.
All right, so who's running point?
Kobe.
Yeah.
And Jordan's your shooting guard?
Yeah.
Yep.
And LeBron is your shooting forward?
Yeah.
Correct.
So you need a power forward and a center?
Yes.
I got the list then. I'm done. Wait, hold on. We're not done because it's good. Yeah.
I got Dirk, my power forward, and Shaq is my center.
See, I got to put Chamberlain down as my center.
He's 6 man.
I love how you accept what he's saying, but you're like, he'll be my sixth man now. I like how you're like, I see what you did there, but and it's almost like I thought about that, and I already had him there. You were so quick, like he's my sixth man. Don't worry about it. I knew he was on there.
It was tough between Kareem, him, and Shaq.
I like Easer A's. I like Magic at the point. Gotta do something. Gotta get Kobe in there. Gotta get LeBron.
I mean, you could do like an all like a defensive starting five. Like who
MJ's
is
on that too?
I get the same starting five.
Really? Do you think Kobe was that good of a defender?
We're just there. That's just what we're sticking with. The best team I can put out there.
So Easer A's would have Duncan at the power forward. And Duncan is, to me, in my eyes, the Derek Jeter to Nomar. And I know Nomar is not Derek Jeter, but I became a Nomar fan because I felt like you had to make a decision between those two. They came up at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like Pearl Jam and Nirvana. You have to make a decision. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. You have to. I just can't handle if someone's like, oh, I like them both the same. Like, no. Make a decision.
No.
And Duncan and Garnett are the same thing to me. You need to make a decision. And I am stuck on Garnett. So Duncan would not make it, and I want Garnett to be there, and I will die on this hill.
What's your reservation on Duncan?
Just so vanilla. So plain,
cookie cutter.
Just like
not after league.
I know,
Tim
but
Duncan.
you watch like even
We got the gray dreads.
Those guys went back.
weed.
Those guys were going back. Like when they would just fight Garnett, it's like one of those things. Like Garnett would always try to poke the bear, and Duncan never took the bait. And Garnett would talk trash, and Duncan was like, "All right."
One time, you just wanted him to take the bait, and it would probably
And
change
just get this thing going a little bit.
Smack
Like,
each other a little bit.
Yeah.
Hit him in the back of the head.
Did you ever see that movie with Adam Sandler and Garnett was the?
I've never seen Something Gems.
Yeah.
I've never.
It's a good movie.
Ever seen it? You consider him someone who likes to gamble, and I love Garnett. And trust me,
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
I kind of was wondering, Adam Sandler doing kind of this movie. I'm not sure. It was legit.
It kind of lost me a little bit, but a lot of people said it was really good. Yeah, I like most of it.
I need to watch it because
Garnett was good in that movie. That's what I'm.
Absolutely. Yeah, he really was.
If you can, you can. If you can, you can go back and listen to like a Bill Simmons podcast where he had Sandler and Garnett on, and Garnett owns that podcast. I mean, owns it. But on top of it, you cannot listen to it with your kids because every third word is the F word. But it's something else. Yeah, I just love the big ticket. Always have. And Easer A's is right. He writes in the Heritage Pub Facebook comment thread. The big fundamental. That's what it was. The big ticket versus the big fundamental.
Yep.
Love Garnett. Really do. So, MJ would be my shooting guard. LeBron's definitely got to be the shooting forward. I want the big ticket there. I agree with Shaq there. I agree with it's so tough to do it, and somewhere I want Jesus Shuttlesworth to do everything. So I don't get. I love Ray Allen. I always have. Ever since I saw that movie, I was like, I'm in love with this dude. This guy's great.
So here's one for you.
Yeah.
What skills competition? Who would you think would be the best 3-point shooter out of this?
That's got to be Curry.
You
Anymore.
You would think, but I mean, if you go back to like
Bird,
Reggie Miller could be there too.
Miller,
I still think Curry.
Miller, but
Ray Allen, Shuttlesworth.
Ray. Wait a minute, what was I doing there? I just went on this thing, and then I went to Bird. I think the Bird thing gets there because he's the one that made the 3-point shooting contest. Like, well, and it's the one that it's my age. Like but I mean, he's the one that made the shot, 3-point to win it, and walked off. And then everyone's like, "That's the coolest thing" because he just walked away after he shot it, And then all of a sudden now it's like it has to be on weekend shows or whatever else, the dunk contest, and make it out of an all-star weekend. But Steph's there, Ray's there,
Reggie Miller.
Bird's there, Reggie Miller's there.
Reggie used to just irritate me being a Bulls fan, and he'd just pull up and shoot like Steph Curry does right now, and you're just like, how in the heck is he making these? And he would
Steph's
get hammered.
pulling up from almost half court anymore. This is getting ridiculous.
Well, did you see that one, their first game, where he leaned into the guy, pretty much did a 360 at the 3-point line and made it? I'm like, are you kidding me?
He made a deep one last night, just stepped into it and just like, you got to guard him clear out there? How is this even possible?
25 points in the first quarter last night, 9 for 9 for the field. Steph Curry, he looks okay on his feet. He's doing all right.
Dunk contest.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the dunk contest, that's another thing, too. We have never seen LeBron in a dunk contest.
God, wouldn't that be cool?
We know the
We
back-to-back
think so.
Jordan, but one of those could be with an asterisk because it was in Chicago. Dwight Howard is the dunk contest champion, right?
Yeah.
Not on the list.
Oh.
For
really?
what?
This.
Oh, yeah.
Or we'd be going Vinny Carter.
Yeah.
Yes. Dominique Wilkins. That's the one that maybe should have won that year.
Paul Pierce is on this list. I did not realize that. I just got down that far. I don't know if I'm too psyched about that over these other guys that we've been talking about.
Is he because he's an ESPN analyst?
Is it maybe? Is it because he's one? Like, is it because that's kind of your beginning of the big three when that happens? Like, did he usher in some? Even though it's not that big of a
not
deal?
in there. Rondo wasn't in there.
He wasn't really part of the big three at first. There was Garnett, Pierce, and Allen for sure. I mean, that was the guys.
But I mean, that was. Don't get me wrong. There was big threes everywhere before that, but that's when they started making a big deal about it. Media's a little bit different in 2008 than it was in 96 through 99 when you had Rodman, Pippen, and Jordan. But as far as, I mean, who was on that list that would be in the dunk or whatever else? I mean, I don't.
Well, Dr. J.
Yeah, he's got
him.
Yeah,
doing some crazy things with his 9-foot wingspan.
So, before we move on and we take a break without hot mics, is this your hot take? Are you serious about the 1 through 3 that you have?
Yes, absolutely.
I want you to state the case, please.
Well, I just think that the athlete is just getting better and better. I think that Jordan did have a much easier time playing in that time because the athletes weren't as good.
Did you watch The Last Dance?
I did, and I saw that when they were playing the Detroit Pistons. There's tons of highlights of him doing moves on all these little white guys that look like you.
Well, hold on a second.
Like
you're talking about Benny the microwave Johnson was a little white guy. Bill Laimbeer wasn't a little white guy.
No, there's plenty of footage out there of him spinning around and going around all these guys that look like they have no business even playing the game.
So you're saying the talent that
the
is
talent
out there
is just exceeded to where what Jordan was at when he was there. Like him and Kobe and LeBron have taken this game to a different level that you can't hit because the tangibles weren't there, the workouts weren't there, the taking care of your bodies weren't there. They weren't doing things like they are doing these days to keep themselves in the league for longer. Just the athlete overall is better. It is going to continuously be like that. I don't think Jordan
leaves the NBA for a year, goes and gets himself 2 years, gets himself in baseball shape.
Why? Because he was bored.
Well,
so that right there's another argument. He just doesn't.
There's the old guy.
Is that what you believe?
Okay, so you don't think anybody else could ever do that if they really wanted to? You don't think any one of these NBA players could ever leave the game for 2 years and go possibly play baseball and then fail?
No,
fail.
I do not.
And come back.
I don't. Well, look at. If you were to look at, let's just use Tim Tebow. I know it's a completely different sport, but he left football to go play baseball and tried to come back and play football again. We didn't get to see what it looked like, but I'm assuming it didn't look very well. I mean, if it wasn't Urban Meyer, do you think he would even try it out?
No.
That's what I'm getting at. So if Michael Jordan, if you watched anything about any documentaries about how when he went to baseball and his personal trainer, what they did to change his workout routine to build different muscles, get the hip flexors different, and playing baseball myself, there's a lot of things that you do different conditioning wise than you would for the NBA. NBA, you're pretty much like a soccer player. I gotta give those guys credit. You guys are up and down the court nonstop. Michael doesn't do that for 2 years, comes back and does Space Jam and does all this other stuff, and his schedule's not open and free to just dedicate himself to basketball and getting back into basketball shape. And he just goes out and does it. That to me is like a freak of nature.
I just think the athlete's far superior right now than what it ever has
So you think
been.
LeBron James could go out?
You match up half these guys against those leagues. You put Damian Lillard in Michael Jordan's spot, and Lillard runs off 3 real quick with that same exact team. You put Kobe in that spot, he does the exact same thing with that team against those teams. At his time, Michael Jordan, yes, was the phenomenal athlete and better than everybody else in the court. But times have changed. He's falling. He keeps getting lower and lower, in my opinion.
Wow, this is awesome. Hold on, a couple things. EJ is right because it reminds me of a story. He said MJ owned the league, smoking cigars and booze, and he's the Babe Ruth of sports. It's actually true. That was not a flu game. That was not food poisoning.
He's hungover.
Yeah, he's hungover, and the carcinogenic rate in that hotel room was through the roof. Yeah, he was hungover and just smoked a bunch of cigars. The Space Jam thing that he took time off and then he made it was also a ruse. He invited a lot of players there that he considered at the time the top of their game to come play in that bubble, and that way he got to pick apart their game ahead of time. He was scouting them, type of thing. That makes him a genius or whatever else. But to you just say someone goes into MJ's shoes and does that. You're trying to tell me they can hit that shot,
that push off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty easy push off.
In a game when he was legally dead.
Who was guarding him? Who was guarding him again?
Byron Russell.
Byron Russell.
Sure. Not, by the way, left off this list.
Half of the NBA.
Ridiculous to me.
Half of the NBA makes that shot.
Ridiculous.
Luka Doncic makes that shot.
Yeah, Luka's a wizard though.
Trae Young makes that shot.
I'm not disagreeing with you that the talent isn't a lot better.
It's good.
I think you put a really good case together about the talent being different in the NBA all around than what it was back when Jordan played. Because, like, you're right, there was just a couple guys. Like, you had Karl Malone, you had John Stockton, that was it. Like, who else was on that team that could stop Jordan? Nobody. So, I mean...
And I feel like everybody always comes at me like they think I don't like Jordan. I grew up, every one of my Little League baseball cards, who's my favorite athlete? Michael Jordan. I just see change, and I adapt to the change. You know, like Kobe was better than Michael. LeBron's better than Kobe, in my opinion. This is kind of how I see it. And change is good. Change should be happening. We should constantly be seeing better and better athletes. A few years ago, I was saying how Mike Trout was like potentially one of the greatest baseball players, if not the greatest baseball player of all time. And now we're seeing more guys come up, like what Vladimir Guerrero's doing and what Ohtani's doing, Tatis Jr. is doing. Things are going to change over time.
So let me ask you
that.
That's
a good point. Everybody and there's never do you hear this argument in football or baseball a lot? Like, it's almost like you're hurting their feelings because I picked on your idol as a kid. You know what I mean? Like,
there's only 5 on the floor.
You can't not like Michael Jordan.
There's 5 on the floor. There's 11 on the field. Each side 22 overall, and there's 9 there. Yeah, and then you have a pitching staff. So it's 5, and that's it. Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Adrian. You have to pick a general out on the floor. Who's your field general? Do you keep it LeBron James? Do you think
absolutely.
You think he's better at directing traffic than Kobe? Because I'm not.
That's a tough one.
I'm a big, huge Jordan fan by far and in between, but I do think Kobe was a better field general than Michael was.
LeBron
Michael was
down
hardcore.
1-3 in the finals on a no-name team.
He willed that on his own though. He didn't make the people around him. He didn't direct traffic. I mean.
Yeah,
I think Kobe did a lot more directing.
Another thing with my argument too is like when everybody sticks up for Jordan, it's like you guys don't even watch the NBA anymore. Like not you guys, but like people in general. Like you can't tell me you're not going to sit down and watch the Rockets play the Grizzlies on Thursday night, on TNT. Then you have no argument, in my opinion. Like you're not even watching some of these guys play basketball.
Right. You are absolutely correct, and I think that's an important thing. It is a matter of you have to understand, and that is the age. So in 87 when he wins the first dunk title and struggling to a thing in now regional in Chicago, but we're talking about we are maybe 5 years removed, maybe 4 from the NBA Finals being taped delayed.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So then all of a sudden, what you're doing is you're taking somebody's love of the game that they say they love basketball, and that is the person who introduced them to basketball, Jordan. So basically what you're doing is you're kind of crapping on their dad.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you are, but that's maybe where the point has come from. You are absolutely 100% correct in my eyes that as the game evolves, so should your opinion of who the greatest of all time is. So
And you made a good point to me earlier, Adrian, because I asked you a couple questions about basketball, and you're like, when's the last time you sat down and watched a basketball game? And I started thinking about it. I'm like, it probably wasn't until that game final with LeBron. That's probably the last game I actually sat and watched from tip-off to the final buzzer.
The last time I watched a basketball game, NBA, I cannot tell you.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
I can tell you, last basketball game I watched was a national championship final for NCAA's, but it was not. I have not watched one this year. I didn't
Already,
watch
you guys have missed some great games coming down to this stretch. Last night's Clippers Golden State game was great. The other night, the Knicks and the Celtics they had a great finish to their game. They would double overtime. This NBA has got some talent all the way around it. And I really think that I was really hoping that the Knicks being good at basketball again and the Bulls being good at basketball again would kind of spark the area a little bit. I feel like almost Iowa hates basketball a little bit.
It will. The Bull. Trust me. If the Bulls,
especially the Bulls,
if the Bulls come out and let's just say they win 7 of their first 10, it'll change. 100%, and then everybody will start talking about their time, how much they love the Bulls, and somehow they'll break out their starter coats, and you'll be seeing more. The Knicks thing will be huge for the NBA and whatever else. And I mean, we've done almost an hour. I forgot that the first 20 or more minutes we talked about being juvenile delinquents, but we talked about it, and good thing for them. And I'm glad we did talk about it. And like I said, and we have and will, but like I said, it would have sparked even more if you ranked this whole thing, but maybe that's the thing of it, is it does leave the door open to talk about that. But I do agree with you. The game evolves and you need to evolve and everything else. I just think that people are stuck in their ways because that was when they got introduced to basketball.
And I know that this list is kind of what got us there, and I know that's why we're talking about like Michael and LeBron and Kobe, but it's like anymore I'm getting tired of talking about it, like, because everybody knows my opinion is I'm a huge LeBron fan. When I was younger, I was a Jordan fan, but now almost I want to talk about who do you think is going to be the next LeBron? Who do you think is going to be the next Jordan? We got tons of guys in this league right now that are showing day in and day out that they belong top 25 players in the NBA, and they're almost on every team. You got LaMelo Ball, Luka Doncic, Jokic, Devin Booker, Durant, Antetokounmpo,
Zion.
He's not playing right now, but yeah, what Julius Randle has done in the last year and a half has been fantastic for the Knicks.
So there's the is that the problem of the older person not stuck in their ways. So we'll just take my age at 45, and I'm not stuck in my ways when it comes to the NBA or anything like that. If you say like, hey, put some money on it, or well, let's go watch the game, I'm like, sure, I'll watch the game. Sounds good to me. I'm not gonna say turn this off. Not like T-Roy or anything. But is it free agency? Is it load management? What is it stopping people from?
I think
exploring more teams and more players.
I think for me, it's a player empowerment. The whole being able to choose your destination. I think
that's a lot of ownership giving up in too, and general managers giving in. Look what they're doing to Ben Simmons right now. They're just like, okay, fine, don't play.
Yeah,
Kyrie Irving.
I think
okay,
the thing that
don't play.
I think the thing that put the nail in the coffin for me is when LeBron went down to Miami and the way that all unfolded.
That was a lot of fun.
Was it?
Had a whole party and they got together on the stage. Remember, they were like, "We're not gonna get
not
one,
not
two,
not 3, not 4." Yeah, that was.
And I remember that everybody thought they were gonna come to the Bulls. He was gonna come to the Bulls too, and I was all excited. And I was like, that was my guy."
And they think
nope. Walked in, turned around, and left.
Maybe it is just the highs and lows of it that you get going, like you just said, the Bulls or whatever else. Like you have the off-season talking, like.
Everybody thought it was cool when the Celtics did it.
Hey, he stopped following on my Instagram. Did you guys see what happened over the weekend? And you're like, he did? He stopped following his own team? What did he do? He liked a tweet from the Orlando Magic. He did? Orlando, this is great. And then he doesn't go anywhere. He signs an extension. You're like, I hate all of you. So it's just kind of like.
Isn't that what Westbrook did this year? Like he stopped following the Wizards and started following the Lakers. Everybody's like, he's going to be a Laker.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah,
he's a Laker.
Yeah, I was like, can you believe this? He's going there. It's going to be even better or whatever else.
There's another guy, Russell Westbrook. What he's done over these last few years with all these triple doubles is. It's fantastic. Damian Lillard, like there's talent all over this NBA.
That's what I'm saying. And the peaks and valleys of this, the NBA, maybe that people just can't hold on to it. It is a very long season, though.
Oh, yeah, I'm really hoping the Bulls being good this year will really spark some interest around here.
I am
watching
too.
Basketball again.
I certainly hope so, and I think it will. And if they have interest and more people are watching it, if you're going out to the sports bars or whatever else, and you see it on, it's going to create more interest in local. And what will also make it important is if they're successful is you have to bring in those 9 and 10-year-olds so that they're Bulls fans when they are 19 and 29 and 39, because the majority of the kids that are, well, my daughter's 12, so it doesn't really count, but I think it was about 6 years ago. She's sick of it. She'll tell you all the time that she's like, all the boys in my grade are all Golden State Warrior fans.
Yeah, makes sense.
And they, which, by the way, that trend can go away anytime they want to. That boys wearing shorts to school but wearing tights underneath can go away. Yeah. That outfit look.
The tights? You don't like the tights look?
No.
I don't know where it started.
It's
comfortable.
NBA.
It's comfortable when you're playing. Like I'll do that in slow pitch, but I would never wear that out.
Well, why don't you just wear pants?
Yeah.
Baseball pants.
Well, like they don't go all the way down. I don't know. They just pair compression shorts, basically. Kind of just keep everything, right where it needs to be.
That's I mean, I get where that. Yeah,
I just have one pair. It's not like I have.
Sure.
30 pairs of these.
So you guys are talking about keeping
I'm not
the
a sleeve
interest.
guy.
You're not.
You don't wear that.
I don't wear sleeves.
You get the arm.
Ooh,
I don't like this guy at the bowling alley the other night had a sleeve on, and then he had it on the other arm that he wasn't bowling with, and I just didn't understand.
Well, was it to wipe the sweat off? He just didn't want the sweatband?
I don't know. I don't think he knows what he's doing.
Is the sleeve to keep your arm warm? Like a pitcher used to wear that old
I don't even know. Isn't it just a compression sleeve to keep it just kind of like tight, basically? And like, why would you wear it on the arm?
Why do you want to be loose? Aren't you supposed to get?
Why would you wear it on the arm?
Aren't you supposed to get loose? Man, can somebody explain to me what these compression sleeves are for?
He was wearing it for fashion, 100%, because like it was like one of them compression sleeves that had a little roll at the end and like gets tight right here, and he had it all the way up his arm, but
the wrong sleeve, the
wrong arm. And I looked at my buddy. I'm like, he's got this on the wrong arm.
Did you say anything?
No, not to him, just to my buddy.
I wish you would have just walked by and just been like, wrong arm. Like, again, I don't care. Like, just as you're walking by, you're just like, wrong arm.
I couldn't
like, it's just like, I always have that in me, like randomly in me to like as I'm driving, and I don't care where you're at on a mask or vaccine. I don't care. I don't go either way. I don't care. I don't have an opinion. But when I'm driving the street, a guy's by himself and there's nobody around. Let's just say he's walking down Brady and I'm driving up it and he's wearing a mask. I just want to roll down and be like, "You're outside." Like you just
fresh
take
air.
a break. It's okay. I'm glad you have it and you're taking care of yourself and you're not infecting anyone else. But you're outside. Nobody's with you. So that's why I probably, enough cocktails in me, I probably would have just announced it as I walked by. I would have been like, hey, I'm not going to make a big deal if the guy would be like, what'd you say? I'd be like, you got the wrong sleeve. I mean, then he would have been
He's
like,
doing something right. He bowled 256, and I had bowled against him, and I only got 244.
Well, there we go.
Yep, there's your answer.
He will my.
Yeah.
So you guys were talking about getting a 9 and 10-year-old's interest. If you were Adam Silver, what would you do to try to get that interest to sway that way? What is there left to do?
I feel like the kids are kind of interested a lot more than what they have been in the past. I think he's going in the right direction, especially with all those highlights that you're seeing all over the internet.
So
they're like, you just talked to him about them like playing cards almost, right?
Yeah. So the big thing that they did is they were the first to do those highlight trading card type of things, and they signed a deal with that, and that's that currency thing that again that blew up in the spring. And has kind of gone to the wayside. I don't know why the NFL's not in on it, whatever else. And I don't know if that's a market that got hot and just kind of went to the wayside like Pokemon Go. And there might be it's worth looking into because that was a thing where people were investing into this. They were getting into groups and being like, all right, let's buy this card that we can and we can sell it later, whatever else. And it might be something that if it's gone to the wayside to look into, get into because it might blow up in 5 years like cryptocurrency. And what it is it's not so much it's your highlight, and it's obviously not the rookie card, but if you can have the very first one, that's where the value is supposed to be. So if it's like LeBron's first dunk that of his NFT trading card, then that's where you get the money from. That's considered the rookie card. I think Silver's done a good job with that. I think he's done a great job with social media. It's almost been to the detriment to them, though, because so many kids and fans are watching on YouTube and they're watching clips on Instagram and Instagram Live that it's hurting viewership on TNT and everything else. So that much forward thinking has kind of hurt where it's at now for advertising or whatever else. So we're not seeing it when you walk into a sports bar like we should every time on a Thursday night in TNT, because it's not like, I mean, we all understand we want to see live sports when we go to a sports bar or whatever else, but it's not like the bartender first thing is like they know there's baseball, they know there's football, and they don't think basketball. And that's where you need to be to get that. But I do think Silver's done such a great job social media. I think he's head and shoulders above the other ones. So I just don't know how far it is.
Just social media is where you're going to get the kids.
Yes. I mean, my algorithm for TikTok does not do NBA, but I'm pretty sure they probably have something like that involved in it.
Just a couple clicks away, Jay.
That's all I got to do. Just like a few of them.
A couple, I mean, they'll be all over it.
Yeah, or you know what? Now, by the way, now that we're talking about it, it will be on the.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because my phone is right here.
I didn't know Facebook started doing this thing called Reels that are like TikToks or something like that. They're like TikToks but on Facebook, and now they're just every time we talk about something, I swear it just pops up every time, every show.
What is a reel?
Yeah, I've not heard of this.
I'll have to pull it up on break when we're on the air still.
Huh?
I'll have to pull it up on break when you're on. It's just like a TikTok, but Facebook calls them Reels.
Okay. They always do stuff like that. All right. Well, we got to take a break here. ESPN 1170 AM. We'll come back and we'll keep figuring out whatever we're figuring out. This has been a great talk. I enjoyed this so much more than just going like, oh, my God, did you see the Baker Mayfield shoulder is not going to be better? All right. We'll talk to you guys soon. We'll be right back. ESPN
What a teaser.
Yeah, I know.
Hi, this is Derek.
And this is Skip. We are the twins from Our Bar Davenport.
And you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
On ESPN 1170 AM.
This is Bobby Metcalf from the Quad City Times, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
What's your car's monthly payment? There's a good chance that First Midwest Bank can lower it. Just like refinancing a mortgage, First Midwest Bank can refinance your auto loan too. That means lower payments, lower interest rates, and higher monthly savings. Plus, you can wait up to 60 days to make your first payment. Go to firstmidwest.com/auto refi to apply and drive down your car payments today. Member FDIC, subject to credit approval, vehicle insurance required.
So, what are you sipping? Whether it's our freshly ground coffee to wake you up or an icy Polar Pop cup or Froster to keep you going, our new Sip and Save drink subscription at Circle K will keep you refreshed every day. Join Circle K's Sip and Save and grab any size drink every day for just $5.99 a month. Yeah! Start sipping and saving today. Just sign up with your mobile number when you check out at Circle K. Limited time offer at participating locations.
Your goals, your future, your dreams. These things are none of our business. Your symptoms, your work from home sweatpants, and whatever you were searching for at 1:15 a.m., that's really none of our business. Because your life is private. And unlike other tech companies, we think your internet should be too. Oh, who's that from? That's none of our business either. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
I owe the IRS $37,000.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies. They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-324-4522. 800-324-4522. Don't wait. Call now. 800-324-4522. 800-324-4522.
It's the final mud race and sand drags of the season this Saturday at Cordova International Raceway. Registration is from 8 a.m. till 10:30 a.m. and racing starts at 11 a.m. Admission is just $15 and kids 12 and under are free. 100% payback in over 600 feet of shutdown. Head out to Cordova International Raceway this Saturday for the final mud race of the season. For more information, please visit racecir.com or search Cordova International Raceway Mud Racing on Facebook.
I'm MJ Acosta-Ruiz with the NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Case Keenum started in for Baker Mayfield and made the most of his first start in 2 years with a major assist from the third-string back Ernest Johnson, who rushed for a career-high 146 yards and a touchdown as the beat-up Browns beat the Broncos 17-14 on Thursday night. Johnson getting the nod with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt both nursing calf injuries. As for who will be under center moving forward, Baker Mayfield revealing that he suffered a fracture in his left shoulder in addition to the torn labrum, and that the fracture is, quote, preventing his rotator cuff from firing. Baker adding that he hopes the fracture will heal in time for the Browns' next contest against the Steelers on Halloween. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Get stylish, durable flooring for your home that will last a lifetime and get it installed with help from Lowe's. Get Stainmaster Pet Protect carpet starting at just $199 per square foot and Pergo Wet Protect laminate starting at $249 per square foot, both with limited lifetime warranties. Order now only at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. Install available in-store only and through independent contractors. See Lowe's.com for details and licensing. U.S. only. See Lowe's.com product detail page for more warranty information.
Okay, my shipments have to get to customers on time and looking good.
It's possible with Staples Connect. Staples Connect has small business shipping covered with premium shipping supplies and UPS shipping services. And now, buy two, get one free on select shipping supplies like bubble roll and premium shipping boxes. Plus, get 20% off UPS Express shipping services. Explore what's new at your local Staples store or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Ends 10/30. Visit staplesconnect.com/shipping for details.
From the Vegas Gaming Cafe, this is the Quad City sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM, KBLB Davenport, a Town Square media station.
Hey everyone, we're back here, ESPN 1170 AM, on a fun basketball Friday. Love it, I really do. You know, Adrian, going back to the conversation that we had about, you know, people think that they're just, and you're not, when you say, like, I just don't have MJ at number one, and people lose their mind because, like you said, they're kind of, you feel like they feel like you're crushing their idol or anything like that.
Yeah.
Is that kind of the same way, like their college basketball team type of thing? Do you think like it's a team that introduced you that way? Because like there's a lot. Obviously, there's Iowa basketball fans, but I just think there's a lot when it comes to college basketball. There's people that have a lot more passion for their team, and it's only a few that are not Iowa or Illinois. They're local. I mean, you'll have your random Duke, UNC type of thing people, but.
We call them guys bandwagoners up here.
But not if you're like, what have you been there like for as long? Like I don't. Duke is a very one. I love this whole like when we started podcasting, it was all about polarizing opinions. Duke is one of those like Notre Dame football. Either you love him or you hate him.
Yeah.
Type of thing, and it's usually more people hate him, and then the people that love him they just think like you said you're just complaining about the name of their firstborn child.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And they get all upset or whatever else, and you're like, hey, just calm down. You've never been to where is Duke?
North Carolina.
I know that, but I almost said Chapel Hill, but that's UNC. Anyway, you're like, you've never been there. You've never been to Tobacco Road. You've never been to a game. Calm down or whatever else. But I've liked them since, and I'm like, yeah, I know.
No, I'm definitely a Hawkeye fan when it comes to like college basketball, but like I would be lying if I didn't say I wasn't a closet Jayhawks fan because
there's another one for you.
One year that they won the national championship, I was like down on Mass Street, which is like a huge bar party area in Lawrence down there, and when they won the national championship, it was quite the party, and so
I bet, yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
See, I've followed college basketball a lot closer throughout my life rather than in the NBA. Even when Michael Jordan was there, I still followed college more because I felt like University of Illinois, growing up in Illinois, that you had those great teams, especially in '85, in '89, the Flying Illini, and then you had the 2005 team, and Illinois always produced pretty good basketball teams, and that's all we really got to go off of. I mean, our football team had, 2005 with Ron Zook. That's the only glimmer of hope that I had in my lifetime. But like even with Iowa, like I could even name more Iowa players than I could NBA players all through my sports life, I guess to say. So like college-wise, I think I've always followed pretty close. And I think it's going back to what Jay said, is like Illinois basketball kind of introduced me to basketball, and college basketball to me has always been like pure until like the one and done started happening, and then that kind of, to me, it diluted the field for me.
I think when it comes, and I followed more Iowa basketball last year because I was covering it, and they let me be in the press and everything, the press box and everything, so that was fun. And I grew up Iowa basketball, but I will tell you that the reason following Iowa basketball was purely because Illinois basketball was good then. And it was more like, nuh-uh. And so, like, I wanted to follow Iowa basketball because Illinois was so good, you know. And it's almost one of those things, like, I kind of need Illinois to, and not to say that they're not, because they are good, but I need it more to be in the media pushed, because then I can get my son into it more or whatever. Because I even talked to him last night. I was like, all right, bud, you know, he's done enough sports, but I was like, are we doing wrestling or not? And he's like, I just don't know. And it's still, I'm on the fence. I'm like, well, he can still go to practice. He doesn't have to go to tournaments and practicing a killing one. But I said, are you interested in basketball? And he's like, And I was like, how am I not pushing my son? Because when I was his age, I was still doing swimming, basketball, and I had not got into wrestling yet. I got into wrestling purely because swimming sucked.
Yeah.
And I don't say that in a way that swimming sucks. It's hard work.
Oh, yeah.
And staring at the bottom of a pool for 2 hours is hard work. And when you're at Bettendorf and you're at the pool and you can see up above, there's windows, and you see your buddies, and you're like, go to school, and you're like, what are you doing? And they're like, why are you there? And you're doing the backstroke, and you're miserable. And they're like, oh, we're going to wrestling practice. Like, oh, my God, Iron Sheik was there? And they're like, no, we got to go. And they're like, it's the truth.
You got really excited.
Yeah. And they're like, no, we can go fight, but we don't get in trouble. It's kind of like fighting, but we don't get in trouble. I was like, well, that sounds like fun. So then I said, like, to my father, like, what's wrestling if they're not going to let, Hulk Hogan win the title? And he's like, it's this stuff. And he's like, I wrestled in high school. And he explained to me, I was like, I want to do that. I don't want to swim anymore. But I was still doing basketball, even though I was terrible and in everything. And I don't even know if the first year I could make a layup. But I want to do basketball. I want to do around the horn. But my son's just I don't know what I'm not doing right to introduce him to it. Because he's like, I like it. I understand it. It seems fun. But I think it's kind of dumb that they have to dribble the ball all the time. What? Like, what do you want to do? Just run
Carry it and push people over?
He's like, I just think it's kind of dumb that they have to dribble the ball all the time. I was like, not really. I was like, do you want to go to the fit sometime and just start working? He's like, I don't know. I don't care.
Maybe you should get him a bowling ball.
I thought about that. Listen, no. I want to. I do. I like it. We should go. But he's just the type that if it's not a strike right away, he's done.
Done.
Why'd you give me 2 chances? I only wanted one. It didn't work out for me. I don't care. They're like, well, you have another chance to get a spare. He's like, I'm out. Yeah, I don't know why I can't get him to be like, it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's what
you get
you
a second chance.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. He's like, I'm done. You can do it if you want to. I don't know. And so I wanted him to be involved. And my daughter doesn't care for basketball, but luckily enough, in 7th grade they start doing competitive. And I know a coach in the 7th grade, and he's like, I'll get her to do it. I just want him to try it. That's all. And I think one of those things is if they do like it, it would be something. And maybe that's a way to introduce them to new sports, is to get them more active in them. And I just want kids to be active in everything as possible, because I don't know, who knows, maybe I could have been good at soccer or whatever else. My parents like, no, you're not going to soccer.
It's wild how kids anymore, I feel like, only play one sport so often. And to me, I never wanted a break. Like, I played soccer, baseball, football, I bowled, or if I wasn't bowling, I would have been in the wrestling team, or I would have tried it out for basketball, or played tennis one year.
Go on.
Yeah, I was gonna. I think we're going on the same rant here, Jay.
Absolutely.
Is that I think, when we grew up, our parents weren't. I want to say they weren't involved. They were involved, but they weren't pushing us to the point of like what I see today. Like today, if you show any kind of glimmer of talent in baseball, then they want you. You're going to be on a traveling team. You're going to get a pitching coach. You're going to get a hitting coach. You're going to play baseball. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all year long. You're not going to do football. Football's not there.
Yeah, we're going to come back to the second because I got a phone call. ESPN 1170 AM.
I'm looking for Oliver. Oliver Closeoff.
You're calling for Oliver Closeoff?
That's the next room over.
Oliver Closeoff.
Do we have an Oliver Closeoff in here?
Oliver Closeoff. Keep it up. Don't stop doing this. Don't let this die today. Keep this up through trick or treat, Easter eggs. Please do. All right, and when you can. I don't want you to get docked work time.
You know what your kids need? They need what I have when I was a kid.
Sure.
NBA Inside Stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Ahmad Rashad and Summer
Rashad.
Sanders.
If that wasn't Michael Jordan
Summer
propaganda,
Sanders.
I don't know what was.
Yeah.
That's what we need to blame all this Michael Jordan stuff is on Ahmad Rashad and
Thanks a
Inside
lot.
Stuff. Yeah. And Hannah Storm, right?
Yep, Hannah Storm.
Or, Hannah Storm. That's who it was.
What's wrong with me
Hannah
for knowing
Storm.
that?
Yeah.
Nothing, because that was an everyday Saturday ordeal.
It was.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Saturday morning, right before Saved by the Bell, in hang time.
Oh, wow.
Easer
That a
eggs.
boy.
You're just
That's
killing it right
that's
now.
awesome.
You're killing it. It's so good. Maybe that's why I watched it, because I was waiting to see Kelly Kapowski. That's why I know
See what
it.
shenanigans Zach
Yeah.
Morris got
I
into.
know, Zach.
Well, you silly
Knock it off,
Zach.
AC. He's working an angle here.
Get off those pills, Jesse.
Where do I get some of that Screech's special sauce?
Yeah. Whoa.
This is too much.
Here we go.
All right, he's raised. I gotta let you go. All right, bye.
Speaking of Saved by the Bell, we were getting way off topic here. But
Sure.
have you guys seen where it's Zach Morris sucks? On you look up the clips when we leave here. You go, Zach Morris sucks, and it just tells you about the storyline and how awful of a friend and how awful of a person he's being the entire time. In the entire episode, they'll go through just random episodes where they crash Kelly Kapowski's car, and it's now he wants her to lie for him and lie for everybody and lie for this person, and the Jesse Pills one is oh, he's asking his friend to stay on these caffeine pills to help him out.
Well, he's definitely not the protagonist in the thing. In the show, I can tell you that much. I just to go back to that, and we can unpack that too later. But to go back to what we were talking about, I had a conversation on Wednesday, and it really was. It was with somebody, and not so much conversation. It was someone who was trying to get to a point of that I'm too hard on my son, and it was 3 sports, and I was like, yeah, soccer, flag football, baseball, fall ball, all in the fall. 6 weeks. That's it. 6 weeks of his life. Don't you think that's a bit much? And I said, no. And she said, 3 sports isn't a lot? And I said, my entire goal was to be a 4-sport athlete in high school, so I don't understand that. She's like, yeah, but they're different seasons. I go, but yeah, that's almost year round. 3 sports. And she's like, it's a lot. And I said, I've done the math. 9 to 12 hours out of his week. 9 to 12 hours out of his week. When previously he was in sports, he was trying to push 6 hours a day on screen time.
Yeah.
So how's this? No. Don't. And that's the thing. Adam, what you're saying is right. If you excel in something, then especially in travel ball, in baseball, softball, you're going to have a hitting coach, pitching coach, all that stuff. And it is a lot. Wrestling is year-round anyway. You can do folk style, freestyle. I'm sure basketball, someone can tell me. I don't know. We've already established that, but I'm sure there's someone that's there's a technique coach or something.
Mm-hmm. There's AAU. There's all this stuff. Others traveling. I found others traveling leagues for basketball now, too. It's just there is that mindset now of, I can still remember when I first seen this happen was I came back to coach Summer League Baseball. And when I came back to coach Summer League Baseball, I was missing 2 really good, talented baseball players. And I asked, why didn't they want to come play summer baseball? Well, didn't you hear we got football camps now? What do you mean football camps? Football's not for a couple more months. Why are they getting training and doing all these speed camps right now? And then it's because, he has a better chance to get a scholarship if he does all this. And it's like, well, wait a minute here. How talented do you think you?
Bowling will be fine. They'll give him a scholarship. Trust me, they will. And by the way, for those out there who are thinking about this or whatever else, you got a little girl and she likes sports. Maybe you should introduce her to golf because they'll hand those things out.
Yeah, no, I have a friend that told me the exact same thing. She said, if you have a daughter and you don't want to pay for college, just get her decent enough at golf where she is at least close to par and she'll go anywhere she wants. That and rowing. My neighbor is actually has a kid in the rowing team here in the Quad Cities, and they're
really good.
They are, and he actually got a scholarship out to Stanford for their rowing team, and I'm just like, really? He's like, yeah, their coach is like Olympic gold medal winner, has all these connections, and he's like, yeah, if it's early in the morning, it's busting your butt, but he goes, you get through a season and you go to all these meets, like there's nothing close around here usually.
Yeah.
And he goes, your networking just becomes that much more wide, and scholarship is just laying there for you.
Is your neighbor Lori Laughlin from Full House?
No.
Okay,
no.
just I'm going to make sure that this is a legit scholarship that he got here. That's the other thing for those kids out there, the younger generation that are studying right now, and they're going to be future teachers and coaches, and they want to coach and figure out what sport to do. Dear Lord, become a golf coach, because those golf kids all have their own private lessons at country clubs. Mm-hmm. You drive around in a cart, and if something happens, the kid goes, "Coach, I missed the shot. What do you think?" This is what you do. Regrip.
Slow down.
And then you hit your foot on the thing, and you go and you drive off to the next cart. It's got to be the best job.
Keep your eye on the ball.
Yep.
Keep your eye on the ball.
It's got to be. All right, today we're going to go on the putting green for 20. Like this group, varsity, you're going on the putting green for the first 30 minutes. The JV, you guys go start off in hole one. We'd start all the other thing else. And then when you're done, you're going to the putting green, and it's all going to work out. And what are we supposed to do in between? Regrip. Just
keep your head down.
Yeah. Just follow through and remember what Chubb says. It's all in the hips. Okay, ready, break. And you're done. You did your work, and you get to drive around the cart. I think it's fantastic. That or cross country too.
Yeah.
Run a little bit harder next time. Maybe that's
get in a golf cart and follow them running.
Yeah, or get on a bike. Do whatever else. Yeah. That's what I say to the next generation teacher coaches. I don't know. Like, I'm all for sports all over as much as you can do. My kids are into the mindset. They kind of already know that, because in Iowa, baseball and softball is in the summertime. Mm. So if my daughter doesn't play soccer, always wish she would have, but she's in 6th grade, and it's not like I'm like, you have to do this. I just tell her that what I did growing up, and I understand it. This is just the message, because since kids aren't in school, I was a teacher at Davenport West, and there was a lot of kids that we lost to sports because they had to get a job because they wanted a nice car, and their parents were like, I'll help you with the down payment, but I'm not going to payments, and I'm not going to do insurance. Understandable. And I tell those kids all the time, told them, you have your entire life to have a nice car. Just get out there and enjoy your 4 years here. And they're like, I don't want to, and that's fine. And I kind of went through the same thing when I was younger. I said, hey, having a little cash in my pocket, I'm making pizzas at Happy Joe's. I was like, having cash in my pocket's a nice thing, Pop. I don't think I'm going to continue sports. I think I'm going to do this. And he was like, hold up, stop. As long as you stay active, as long as you're in sports, I'll pay for what you need.
My parents were the same way.
And it was incredible. It's not like he came into a lot of money. He just was like, I'll take care of it. And I think that's what I've been trying to tell my kids too. And so when I talk to Soph, I'm like, in the spring before softball, you will do track and field. And she just kind of was like, and she's good enough to not be like, why? She asked me once, and I tell her, but I said, one, you need to work on speed in general, and it's not going to kill you. I don't care if you never do a single hurdle or do a long distance, whatever else, but that practice isn't going to hurt you. Practice never hurt anybody. I don't care what Ellen Iverson says. When you get to that area, you can then question practice. But when you're a kid, I don't want to go to practice. That's fine. I'd rather my kid, if he wrestled, skips a tournament than skips a practice.
Yeah.
It's fine, because practice is just to get on the podium anyway. Everyone wants to get there, but the hard work is going to get you there, and then it's going to be practice. So,
no, that's the way it was in my household. Is if you played a sport, you didn't have to worry about work. You didn't have to worry about money. If you needed gas money, you got gas money as long as you were active. Now, my brother, on the other hand, he decided to get out of sports in high school, and my parents were pretty much like, okay, if you're not in something, you're gonna have to, get a job, go do something. Like, you're not gonna sit around the house for all day long. But yeah, I always envied you guys over here for summer baseball, because playing spring baseball sucked. I mean, the first couple games, you're wearing like 8 layers of clothes. You're trying to get through, chattering your teeth.
Coach is trying to pull you out of class so you guys can go shovel the baselines. Like, hey, is it important today?
I remember trying to play that fall ball, like my first year at MCC, and we're playing it snowing, and I'm like, what are these crazies? What are these guys crazy? They want to play baseball now? Let's go inside and work out or something, man. Let's do something else. Take some ground balls on the tennis courts or something.
Well, guys, I'll tell you what. Some of my favorite days are just conversation. and not breaking down and being like, what team's going to win this game and how do you want to do it and blah, blah, blah. And I love conversations like this, so I appreciate you guys along for the ride here.
It was a fun day.
Yeah.
Hey, we didn't ask you, though. What are you doing this weekend? No Iowa football. What are you going to do?
No Iowa football. I told you we're going to carve a pumpkin, which started into the rant. And tonight we'll go to the Bettendorf Davenport North football game. That's going to be at Brady Street Stadium. Winner of that's probably making it in the playoffs. We're going to do that. And then Saturday, I've got, honestly, I'm talking about crappy things I watch. I've got to finish the second season of Outer Banks with my daughter on Netflix.
There you go.
And there'll be some video games of Cobra Kai on Saturday as well. Ben's got the video game Xbox. We already won it with the Cobra Kai side. Now we have to win it as the Miyagi Dojo. So, yes, that's my big plan.
That's fun.
Hey, that sounds like a good weekend.
It's going to be a good weekend. You guys have a good weekend, too. I appreciate it. What do you guys have playing for the weekend? We got time.
We got going to Six Flags tomorrow.
That's right.
I'm not mad about that.
No, I don't want. Don't
I'm
rub it in
excited.
our face.
You know, I hit Alcatraz yesterday.
Ever.
I'm into these relationship things. It's fun. I do have one thing here. We got Suns Lakers tonight on ESPN. Company Man. A couple picks I like tonight: Bulls, Hornets, and Knicks, all with the points.
I'm going to follow you with the Bulls. And you have the Bags tonight still? Even at 40?
We're talking about it. We're talking about it.
You're going to let temperature do it?
I'm putting some feelers out there, seeing what the people think.
Adam, what do you got going on?
So I got my daughter's birthday party this weekend. It's Big 7 this birthday. So that'll be Saturday, and then do some yard work, try to get the yard ready for the winter, and that's about it.
Got any Halloween inflatables up?
No, God, no.
God, no. All right.
No, I'm not that crazy.
Well, enjoy the birthday party. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. Quad Cities, you stay safe and sanitize. Good luck today and good luck every day. We will talk to you on Monday.
This is WQAD's Matt Randazzo, and you're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
90 days, no payments on approved credit. Interest accrues from contract date uncertified. See us for warranty and tire details.
Hurry to the Quad Cities Used Car Supermarket at Highland Toyota with hundreds of vehicles, including economy, family, sport, luxury, hybrids, all-wheel drive, trucks, 4x4s, vans, and SUVs. Get the balance of the full factory warranty. No payments for 90 days available. Instant credit to all qualified pre-owned buyers. Highland Toyota will pick up and deliver to your home or workplace. And with demand for used vehicles at its highest level ever, your trade-in will be absolutely worth more today. And Highland Toyota will pay top dollar to buy your used vehicle. Need tires? Now through November 1st. Buy 3 and get the 4th for $1. The Quad Cities Used Car Supermarket at